Most popular YouTube, another day, another demo. Here we are to talk about Score from IHC. IHC is a cryptocurrency. I think it's something hedge, inflation hedge currency or something like that. Okay, they sponsored this team in the second month of 2022. I think March. Okay, they got the IHC sponsorship. This is a full Mongolian lineup. All right, if they make it to top 8 at this major, I will get a Mongolian flag tattooed on my body. Okay, I'm so hyped about this. The first Mongolian team in history to be playing at a CSGO major, and they're doing it with players that I just don't know anything about. Okay, so I'm here to watch this demo because I heard Score is the guy to watch, and also that Leah said they've played a very European brand of Counter-Strike, which has intrigued me. Pimp had high praise for this team. And of course, they didn't drop a map at the RMR. They won both games 2-0 versus Tyloo and Renegades to qualify. So exciting. Man, Counter-Strike for me is all about being international. I love Europeans and Europe and everything, all of the Europe stuff and heavy cream and cigarettes and everything like that. But ultimately, I love majors because they bring the world together. We see different styles of CS. I don't want it to be a homogenized one way to play best team at the same style. That's not my jam at all. And the less international we get in CS, the more my heart bleeds. So I'm very hyped and excited to see a Mongolian team get through the Asian RMR. And I would also wish that they expanded the Asian RMR because we saw there are a lot of great teams coming out of Asia that are getting less chances to get to big events, and they are like teams like Tyloo didn't even get to qualify. IHC and Renegades got through, and it's not to say the teams that got through didn't deserve it, but there are other teams that could have been able to compete that would have been worth watching and giving a shot to. So that's a shame, but at least we got this crazy result. Another breakthrough team that some people know more about than me. It's very hard for me to follow some of the Asian storylines. Bleh actually helps me out a lot with learning about who to watch and talk about. He gave me one funny story about Techno, but we're here to watch Score play CT side Ancient, and on this game 32-25 across the map, 20 kills on CT side alone, and then of course a 5-round OT that went the way of IHC. So why don't we go ahead and check this out? I don't have so much context for this one. It was hard to find settings. I got 1280 by 960 on a Russian page that kind of showed his settings. I don't know if it's up to date, but he's on Ancient. I think he plays around the cave, and I have not watched any IHC. I've got the map overview ready, and I've also got Spec Show X-Ray ready as well, and we are here to watch it. Doolies coming into cave. Now, there's just, there's no excuse. There's no excuse for North America and any other region when we see like Australian teams show a high level of competence, yes, with like insane individual skill. The same for Asian teams who are separated from other regions so severely by ping, have absolutely no infrastructure, whatever, and are able to make, breakthrough events happen. Now, you can say, of course, in this position, they get their own RMR to fight through, but that's like one thing that they get, throughout like the entire calendar. So I really think it's awesome to have examples of teams that are doing a lot with very little to work with. And it looks like this team IHC, wow, that aim is unbelievable, insane, are one of those rosters. Yeah, they get that off. I think he's shooting the dual Berettas faster than you're supposed to be able to. He's clicking fast. He's clicking very fast. Okay, well, already very promising. Let's pay attention to the map and some of the moves that go down in this spot. So walk up into B. Let's see what the adjustment is here from Score. Part of you probably wants to be quiet. No sense not spamming through the wood wall, especially when they smoke out cave. But I guess they didn't actually smoke out cave. They just kind of missed the site's path smoke and then scaled and swung on cave. Okay, never mind. Learn a bit more about the cave. About the cave plays. Wow, another nice shot. What is that? What am I hearing? Oh, okay, I see. He died. They played some music. Okay, someone yelled, and I was like, why does that keep happening? Very quick attack. These rounds are they're distilling very quickly with the amount of action that's taking place. All right, so playing inside the cave. Sometimes you got to make a judgment call here. There's lots of small spams that you can do to get a little bit of damage off. Sometimes even straight up get kills. If you play on this side of cave, you are obviously at risk of them mollying it, which is the tough one. If you get mollied out the other side, you could leave. You get mollied on this side, if you can smoke yourself, or in this spot, you have a teammate that can come with you. That's Techno 4K, who is 17 now, and I think joined and played with this roster from when he was 14 or something. Okay, Bled told me the story that Techno's story is hilarious because he subbed in for the former IHC roster or whatever, his first team, because the player before him got tilted and smacked his hand on the desk and broke his hand. So Techno came in as a sub at 14 years old and top fragged, and then they just kept him on the roster. So that's Techno's story. Apparently, I don't know. I'm sure Bled's not lying. I'm just not sure if I'm telling the story correctly, but yes, it sounds crazy and hilarious and awesome. He's getting a lot of help here. I mean, we're seeing basically just a series of 1Ks in from score and not much else. A couple of very great shots for sure. Let's keep it going. Those mollies to stop, the cave, the rush across. It also allows you to get in position to listen because you can spam across. I mean, we aren't seeing any proactivity from score when it comes to trying to get damage off from the cave. Instead, playing this relatively standard. We're just watching it, making sure no one lurks through. Okay, here's another spam that you can do as teams are defaulting. You always put a confident Catherine in the cave, okay? That's what we always say. Put a confident Catherine in the cave because it's a place that gets a lot of action, a lot of spam back. Yeah, a lot of options for you to either push through, but you really kind of have only yourself sometimes, and you have to rely on your site mate to either stay alive or like give you odds, like ways to get back out, and that part can be kind of frustrating. So only put a confident Catherine in the cave. Okay, someone with good aim like score. Oh my God, he is really, really sharp. I mean, he's fast. These headshots are, really good. Oh, wow. Nice headshots. Good rifle work. Wow. Okay. He's been very consistent, actually. Even since the team has kind of become IHC, I think in like the 30 to 40 maps that I've seen played, he only had like 2 or 3 negative ratings. Red ratings, below 1.0 ratings on HLTV. Also, his land stats line up perfectly in terms of impact with his online stats, which of course the sample size is smaller, but even in his first year where he played lands, he had better stats on land than he did online. That's a good sign. Still not the absolute most pressure. We haven't seen score in front of a crowd. We haven't seen score at an S tier event. So these are a couple of things, but so far so good, right? Wow, he believed in that timing hard. He could have moved, but he just said, okay, I know they're coming right now, so I'm going to eat this molly damage. Oh, 1v1. Let's see what happens. These are always fun. Ancient is kind of cool in the clutch. There are so many timings. I actually think, yeah, it's kind of fun. The retakes are not that great. There's so many options for the T's and the post plant. Sometimes the map can feel very annoying to try to maneuver around. Like in this spot, like this entire area right beside Blitz right here is just so annoying if you don't know which side the CT's on. On the A site, you can go through Temple and lurk through or push through spawn. But, oh, another bad smoke, actually. Tyloo missed some smokes. In the 1v1s where you can go through the Temple, things can get interesting with the, the brokey position and the spots on the site that you can play and all the different corners that you can wait in and the push you can make into spawn and cave control, which it can end up. But again, it becomes kind of annoying with certain peaks like this. The fact that you can peek from both sides here, there's just a lot of options sometimes. So it's not always that fun to try to retake, even in 1v1. So the aggressive push, yeah, okay. Oh, nice shot, Summer. The aggressive push out through K, but listen, I mean, they actually layered this quite well. Oh, how does that miss? You got to give him that. That was definitely in him. What? He hit that shot. Don't pause and find out that he actually missed it. He definitely, that was in. That was perfect.
Let's test that.
Wait. Go back one.
As you can see, he was in movement. The crosshair in the middle is the accurate crosshair. The true crosshair is slightly off, making the shot inaccurate. Editor Mo out.
Op shot looked good, but that was actually good pressure from the CT side. They actually paired it with the three-player push, all the right utility. The only thing was they had that full commitment, but he missed the jump up onto his teammate. And when you make sound on a boost, you're not supposed to boost after that. You're supposed to give it up, fall back. But there were guys that were relying on him, to be there at that moment. So he said, okay, screw it, we'll go for it. And they had some ways to trade, but a couple players failed. Unlucky. Could have been worse. Unlucky, not terrible. New series. You can see this double up coming through with the flashes. This looks like they're just going to swing. Yeah, that's not going to work out too well. That would have been really good to... That would have been a perfect spot to molly, right? Because if they molly either side in this position... they throw the molly late. Tyloo played it very messy. They played a very messy game of Counter-Strike. When I watched the Renegades match earlier today, Vertigo was very messy. So many nades were missed. So many weird positions that don't happen at the upper tiers. Was not very impressed, for sure. Really sad to not have Tyloo at the major. That's, no Chinese teams actually made it. So, but, yeah. As they say, it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll go for it. I think the other guy was defaults, right? Yeah, he's got some help. Nicely done. They really messed up that cave control setup, so... Alright, so when it comes to the molly here, we just talk about that. So many smokes down. Guy on this side, guy on this side. You can molly this position on the right. You can molly this position on the left. Neither is wrong. You kind of do it based on the demos you've watched about how the team plays. But the way that they peeked in, they put all their eggs on a flash that was so easy to dodge, and then they swung with two. But the way that they swing, because they have to deal with this side and this side, they come in and peek from either side, looking at the opposite corner. And when you do that, that means that if one guy dies, the other guy doesn't have cover, right? So they both have to win their duel. So it's good that at least we saw, of course, in that round, IHC played on both sides. But if they had mollied one side and forced that player to smoke himself, then they have isolated the other fight, then they can both peek the same side. Yeah? They can both peek the same side and then come turn around to fight the guy who's in the smoke. Then you got a much better system going on, So that just wasn't the hardest fight for IHC to deal with. Tis what I'm trying to say. I think the only difficult part about rotations on Ancients is everything to do with middle. These timings here last all the way up until the last 10 seconds before the bomb gets planted, where like T's can walk out mid. You can't hold mid super late on CT side, or at least it's not very common. Oh, how will we deal with this? Oh, actually, okay. Attacker wins. But pretty much in terms of the rotations, you always have to have... You can call the timing, but for the most part, you have to have someone trying to catch that mid lurk. Because if it's there, it's a free kill. And if you don't catch those timings and you get smoked out, then both sides can get split through mid. It's very powerful. It's the most interesting part of the map, I'd say. Cave is also pretty interesting. I mean, this map is actually pretty interesting. I like it. What do you think about Ancient? Let me know in the comments below. Can we get 10 likes on this video? I think Scora has 3 years of kind of competing in CS. Haven't heard his name before. Of course, more well known in the Asian region, which is great. And just, yeah, so happy to learn about some new players. I wonder if that did damage. I don't even know what the wall pen is on the CZ there, but absolutely worth a try. Ooh, he wants to. Okay, so the molly comes out sometimes before the smoke is up, but just before the smoke's about to come up, you can throw that molly and then peek afterwards. They're not really pairing this these nades with any aggression. So, this is allowing the flank to come out. This is a very smart timing from IHC. And now they're going to see the lurking towards A. There is one in Donut. Attacker goes down. They left Donut control. Tyloo are not playing very well right now. Very, very sloppy Counter-Strike, unfortunately. But some very smart setups. Regardless. Thought I heard a scope in the corner. Oh, that's well done. Yeah, with donut control, it's the absolute most important part. If you're gonna, especially if you're gonna come through mid, to keep donut control, don't like come back late into it. Like have donut control because that's your number one post plant position, like the number one. So, yes, I mean, yeah, Score only had a CZ, but he also was there first, you know. The smoke is really great. It's sometimes these smokes are, ooh, little gap. Sometimes these smokes are supposed to strain you on T side. Like if you default with one outside B, but you're actually going to go towards A site, then that smoke comes down and they see you're not respecting their map control. Then suddenly the T's have to rethink about how they approach the map. Scroll down the site, A site gets taken, and that was one of them. You also you give yourself a rotation out towards mid. And it threatens mid as well to even throw a smoke like that. And this is all to say, even if you use it or not. Oh, we saw one. We saw one which is pretty interesting. It could be spammed, actually, from the site if you wanted to. And you can see smoke comes out just as the other smoke is dissipating. And Score literally just looking for any timings. Beautiful. Any times he can to deal with that exact player he saw earlier. Oh my goodness. Really nicely done. He's actually ramped up the pressure. Earlier on in the half, he wasn't really doing any spamming. And then he just started doing a lot more. Uh-oh. Okay. You know, no harm, no foul. It's 3v3. That's not the best case because, of course, he lost two guys separately. Okay, it gets a little worse. But it was still worth a shot. I think there was nothing wrong with spamming there. It was a lot of spamming, but he had a silenced M4. It's fine. It's fine. Relax. It wasn't that bad. It was good. I would have done it too. I think it was good. Plus, he got the 2 kills. Like, round should have been over. Even if he died there, you can't anticipate your teammate's going to die too. I always advocate wasting as much ammo as possible. Like, if the ammo's free, you get it back next round. It's actually one of the next and only frontiers of Counter-Strike that can push the game any further is how to use ammo more because... You know, there's even the concept of getting like a Negev or an M24 and a Negev to cut off an angle for like 30 seconds just with bullets. That in some sense that works like utility, right? Like the idea might be to stop someone from pushing, not necessarily kill them. So that's the same deal with those spams with the M4. And that ammo is a resource that is limited that you get back every single round. Don't have to pay $1 for it. Comes with the gun. Comes with the gun. So I think there's more that teams can do when it comes to thinking about how to use ammo to your advantage. It's an interesting concept. You know, in Counter-Strike, it's just going to be small advantages that push teams further and further. But, yeah, I'm a big proponent of not being shy with your magazines. Don't be shy. You have a gun. Why would you be shy? You know what I mean? All right. Tyloo have been really messing up when it comes to figuring out this cave situation. Really, really want to know if they've got a new look for it. Same push or no? He's never been overly aggressive, and that's important because you don't have to be to get the damage off. We saw pretty much one play this half where he flashed out to actually peek out. And never overcommitted. Super solid, super sound. Looks like he's got a great team too. I mean, he's putting up numbers in this half, but basically so is everyone else. God damn, he is very sharp, man, with the rifle. He makes... Yeah, it's got good rifle. I mean, do I have to say that? I mean, do I have to say that? Like, you know, you can literally see that. I don't have to tell you that, right? He's been very sharp. I don't think he's ever cleared an angle not exactly at headshot level and instantly melted his opponent like a cheese string in the microwave. Do I have to point that out? He knows that. Everyone knows that. See if, I wonder if he left a gap for himself with this one. Yes, it's good. Be annoying as possible. All these spams are set. They're just looking for different timings. Careful to not even reload, actually. Smoke gets dropped for him. They have mid control, so there'll be a timing here where he's got to be a little bit concerned, yeah. Okay. Oh, the pre-fire is great. Wow, well handled. Well handled. Yeah, that was a little scary, of course. Yeah, you could clearly hear that they were nearby. But he didn't panic. Stay calm and spam on. I mean, he's going to get this one. It's going to be... Score's going to get this kill. This angle is broken. It's sick from the site. If he gets spammed and mollied, it sucks. But late round situations, it's beautiful for holding B. It's going to work. Oh, he's going A, probably. Okay, all right, yeah. No problem. It's all done. 11-4. He's a strong rifler. I got to watch more from him. It was a relatively interesting CT side to watch. Some stuff there. Not like a ton of stuff. My camera's not that great. I'm just using my travel cam. It's actually the Elgato face cam, which is pretty nice for... It's the best webcam I've ever used, that's for sure. Congrats, man. Congrats to IHC for qualifying to the major. So excited to watch this, to play at the major. Crazy just to get just 5 Mongolians qualifying to the major is just something I didn't expect to hear in 2022. Just makes me so happy. Would have loved to have more Asian team representation at this major, but at this point, any fresh storylines, I'll take them. Absolutely. I hope they can keep it strong, stay prepared for each of their matches. I think if their coach Mara is doing a good job, it shows. Can't wait to hear more about these guys in the future. Stay tuned. We'll do some more demos. If you guys have suggestions for which ones to do, let me know in the comments as usual. And that's it. Stay up, everyone.
For my daddy ho, smoking dope, reciting raps out on the patio. My posse said you ain't